What's up, MMA fans? This is Manny Q with MMA360. MMA news for fans, by fans. I'm here with my co-host, Bruce Rodriguez. What's going on, Bruce? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Excited about everything happening in the world of MMA, man.
A lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. All right, guys. Here's your MMA news update for the week of December 17th. Say goodbye to the WEC. It is no longer. It's finally merged with the UFC. So get ready for all the new weight classes, all the new fighters you're about to see. We got the bantamweight weight class, the featherweight weight class, and of course the lightweight weight class with Anthony Pettis dethroning Ben Henderson at WEC 53 in Arizona. I'm pretty sure that was a great event. Unfortunately for Anthony Pettis, though, he's going to have to. It's going to be interesting to see what the UFC does with him. Are they going to give him a title match right away, or are they going to make him fight for a title match? It's going to be interesting to see what happens once he comes into the UFC. I know the UFC actually started giving their other fighters from the featherweight and bantamweight, like Dominic Cruz, congratulations to him. Last night he was given a UFC belt as opposed to a WEC belt. So going to be interesting to see what happens with all that.
A lot of good fights. Really looking forward to the new weight classes. Those guys always put on a great show when they fight. I mean, those are always great fights.
You got guys like Uriah Faber, Miguel Torres, Ben Henderson, Dominic Cruz. That's just to name a few. So those are the guys that put on great fights. You're going to see a lot of the new little, Korean fighters, a lot of the Japanese fighters, a lot of the smaller guys that are just always going at it. So it's going to be very cool to see in the UFC. I mean, moving on. Since Frank Mir's lackluster fight against Mirko Cro Cop a couple months ago, I think it was back in September if I'm correct, Frank Mir is looking to move down a weight class, down into the light heavyweight, the 205-pound division. Heard that he apparently wants a dream matchup against Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva, before he even does that, he's going to be apparently scheduled to fight Brendan Schaub, former contestant of The Ultimate Fighter. But even before he has to worry about Anderson Silva is not in the 205-pound division anyway. He still has to go through Vitor at UFC, February 5th. I'm not sure if it's UFC 127 if I'm correct. Could be wrong. But what do you think? What do you think about Mir's decision, Bruce?
Mir, big fan, but I believe he still has from his couple of last performances, he has to build himself up again. Anderson Silva versus Mir, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Schaub, I believe, is a great contender for Mir. Looking forward to seeing that fight, but I would rather see Anderson Silva versus GSP. Or, I mean, what do you guys want to see Mir fight? You guys think he's you guys want to see Brock Lesnar and Mir again? I definitely don't. But I mean, what do you think, Manny? Who do you?
I think it's an interesting conversation. I think Mir needs to prove himself again. He's very cocky in his approach, but he's a great fighter. So we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think about this week's MMA news update. MMA news for fans, by fans. Remember also, freshly off the grill, UFC will be going to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil for on August 27th. UFC Rio, going to be a great card. Obviously, a lot of Brazilians. We've got a couple of pound-for-pound fighters on the UFC roster, so going to be very exciting to check that out. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel here at youtube.com/user/MMA-fans360 to receive the latest video updates. Become a friend and feel free to leave your comments on our channel as well as the videos. We always want to hear from you, have to say all about all the topics and discuss, and we want to know what you guys want to discuss. We want to know what you have to say about the show, about me, about Bruce.
Let us know.
Remember, we will have a new video uploaded every Friday, so make sure you look for us weekly. Also, on a high note here, Bruce, we will be streaming live on the internet within about a month. We're going to be doing an hour-long show on Ustream.tv. Going to be a very exciting show. I mean, I'm taking this to the top with an in-depth view of the MMA world, just everything about it. We're going to be doing interviews and definitely doing some product knowledge and things of that nature. So keep you informed on when we go live. So look forward to that. Bruce, we got the main topic. Here's what we are going to discuss today, guys. I know you missed the fights last weekend, Bruce. Great fights. In my post-fight interview, I mentioned what's next for GSP. What is? I mentioned he should move up and weight to the middleweight. That would be the 185-pound division. What do you think he should do? Or who else do you think the UFC should throw at him? I mean, in my opinion, he's wiped out the entire welterweight division. What are your thoughts, Bruce? What do you think?
I'm absolutely agreeing with you. I believe GSP has taken out everybody. As for him moving up in weight, I think it's probably the best thing, but do we want to see him fight Anderson Silva right away, or do we want to see him get his feet wet first, fight a couple of fights, and then move himself up? As opposed to him taking on Jake Shields, which I really don't agree that he should have. He should even get that title match. His fight against Fitch was very weak, but Dana White is probably going to go ahead and trying to sell him as a Strikeforce champion and give him a fight against GSP. Whatever gets the ticket sales, but I don't think he deserves it. I mean, I don't know what you think, Manny.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for those of you who didn't watch the John Fitch fight against what's his name, Jake Shields. It wasn't an impressive fight. He said it himself, and I'm quoting him here, is the weight cut to make weight was took a toll on him. He was coming out of the 185-pound division from Strikeforce and stepped into the 170-pound division. It's a lot of weight to cut because although he weighs in at 185, he was probably walking closer to about 200. So when you think about that, 30 pounds to cut is a significant amount of weight to cut. So just keep that in mind. Again, I think I don't think he deserves a title shot. I think GSP should move up in weight. I think he should, not take on Anderson Silva right away. I think he should definitely get his feet wet with a couple of 185-pound fighters and go from there and see what happens. But let's talk about a little scenario real quick. Is what happens if he does lose to Jake Shields? We all know Jake Shields is obviously going to come in a little better prepared. But what if he does lose? Even then, what's next? He's beat everybody else in the 170 division. Who are they going to throw at him? Now, let's say he does beat Jake Shields. We go back to the same question. Who's next?
Nobody.
I think he should move up. Give the other guys in the 170-pound division a chance for that UFC gold. They can't get through him, so move him along so that they have an opportunity. My personal opinion, though, because I've seen all these fighters fight, and they're all great fighters, not taking anything away from them, but I think the welterweight division is going to be that little bit more boring when GSP moves on. Obviously, you have a lot of fighters who are going to want to match up against BJ Penn. It's going to be interesting to see BJ Penn, see if he can get that UFC gold. We'll look forward to that. But here's a question for you, MMA fans, is I want to know, do you want to wait maybe a year for GSP to put on that weight to fight Anderson Silva, or would you rather just see him fight Jake Shields in a few months? Give us your opinion. Give us your thoughts. Leave them on here. Leave your comments on the YouTube channel. Let us know what you think, how you feel about this. I personally feel, I think both I and Bruce agree. Move him up to
moving up to
middleweight division.
Middleweight, right?
Is what it is.
Let him get his feet wet first, so then we can see that match against Anderson Silva and GSP. Like Manny said, he basically already cleared out the whole slate. Dominated Koscheck. Nobody expected that fight to go that way. I was expecting more of a wrestling match. I personally didn't see the fight. I saw some of the highlights, but from what I heard and I seen, he put up a great stand-up fight. Nobody expected that from him. Everybody thought that he was just a wrestler, ground game. But you can see he's a well-rounded fighter, and he boxed himself to the win. And looking forward to more GSP. But who's next? Do you guys want to see him move up or stay in the same and fight Shields? Do you guys think Shields is ready? Let us know what you guys think.
All right, guys. Next week's episode, thoughts on BJ Penn moving up to the 170-pound division. When we talk about that, we'll kind of move into the the lightweight, what he did and what he left behind in the lightweight division as far as UFC 125 is coming up January 1st with Gray Maynard taking on Frankie Edgar for the UFC Gold. Thank you for watching. I'm Manny Quintana, along with my co-host Bruce, obviously. And this is MMA 360 MMA News for fans, by fans. Remember to visit us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/MMA Fans360. And make sure to leave any comments and future topics you'd like us to discuss. Alright guys, you guys have a good one. Alright?